We begin today with the continued controversy and confusion over Common Core testing and teacher evaluations. Just last month, nearly half the young students required to take the tougher, federally sponsored, state-backed Common Core English and math tests opted out. The tests are supposed to help the next generation compete academically with the world, but scores have been drastically lower, and educators don't want that counted against their performance. It's on the minds of students, and it's dividing parents.
It was a little bit more pressuring since that the teachers depending on us.
It goes against them, it goes against teachers. There's no use of it.
You can't opt out of life, and tests are part of life. I don't want to give them that sense that they can just say, I don't want to do it, and not do it.
And there you see the divide. The State Education Department and Governor Andrew Cuomo are standing by the test, but there has been enormous pressure to either reduce the amount of testing or change the way teacher evaluations will rely on these test results, or both. And this week we saw the New York State Board of Regents weigh in on this contentious, divisive issue. Joining us now to have some more of this conversation, to try to explain it all, is a Long Island member of the State Board of Regents. He is Roger Tillis from Brookville. Welcome to the show, Mr. Tillis.
Glad to be here.
First off, explain what the Board of Regents does and what authority or responsibility it has for administering these tests. There's been a lot of confusion about that.
Well, the Board of Regents is the elected body to perform education policy in New York. We are independent of the governor's office or the legislature. The legislature elects us for 5-year terms. There's 17 regents across the state, and we are an independent policymaking board. I've been on for 11 years, and I've not been called once by a legislator to ask me to do this or that or whatever. Not once.
Do you set the regimen and the discipline and all of the protocols for the education department in the state of New York?
We are supposed to do that, but in the last 4 or 5 years, it has become very politicized, and the legislature and the governor have passed laws that prescribe what it is that we can or cannot do.
Which we just talked about, and now they're backing away from that, and they're trying to walk some of these rules back. It looks absolutely confusing and chaotic to folks on the outside. Would you agree?
It should be confusing to them. We have a series of tests that were mandated originally by the federal government, but not the test itself, which is a New York test. The government mandates that we have such tests,
right,
but not the test. The test itself has not been proven to be a valid or reliable measure of student achievement, no less the teacher who teaches them.
Sounds like you're opposed to it. And in general, are the regents opposed to the Common Core regimen? Because now that's confusing. It's what we have in our schools.
There has been, the regents went along with and had to go along with state law to prepare and give out the tests for this. But the regents rushed very much into the test regimen and the evaluation and the Common Core standards all at the same time.
So there have been a number of fixes suggested. It would take 20 minutes to explain them all. Are you in favor of walking back Common Core and changing it? In what way?
I like the Common Core standards. Most teachers, most parents, once they understand what they are, the standards themselves are very helpful. They are increasing our knowledge base of students. The evaluation tied to a student test score has been the one crimp in this whole armor.
That's what brought the politics into it.
Absolutely.
What do you think of the fact that this has become so politicized?
I think it's a shame, because the people that are getting hurt are the kids. There's no reason why we can't have very rigorous evaluations of teachers that don't link up what a student does, which is only maybe 18–20% of what a student learns is from that particular teacher.
Who created these tests? And why are they so much harder, according to all the people that are complaining about it?
The tests are harder because the Common Core standards are higher, but the Common Core standards should have been tested out cumulatively, because you need 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade in order to really do well on a 5th grade Common Core test. We had them go out in 5th grade where the kids had no background in Common Core. It was
Do we need
nuts.
this challenge? We saw that they got really poor scores compared to what historically was the score.
My opinion is that, again, politically, this was done to show for some reason that the teachers are not doing a good job. And frankly, the teachers that I see on Long Island, that I know on Long Island, and talking to superintendents I know, they are as good a group of teachers as we have in
Well, I got all
the
mixed up
country.
into this. What message do you think the kids are getting out of this?
The kids are getting out of it probably that adults shouldn't be playing kids' games with their education. They are getting, I'm a big supporter of arts education and music education, and those are the things that are being cut out because of the emphasis on passing these tests. And so we're losing a lot of the reasons that our schools have been great on Long Island.
Do we have a solution to this, and we have only just a few seconds, or do you think the opt-out movement's just going to grow?
I think the opt-out movement will grow until we change the scope of what the test does. We can have a more rigorous evaluation without linking the student test score to it, but at the same time, we can have a very basic and good evaluation of teachers, which on Long Island we've had for a long time.
Well, another side to this, Roger Tillis, thanks for weighing in, Long Island representative on the New York State Board of Regents on this contentious issue. Thanks for updating us this morning.